worst thing about Christmas lights?
Oh, they get terribly tangled up,
They do.
don't they?
The worst thing that I've encountered about Christmas lights is they get in the way of the remote control.
They do interfere with your Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Do they?
Yeah, the microwaves which come from your Wi-Fi router are quite weak and they can get blocked by stronger signals, and indeed the Christmas lights would be a stronger signal.
The man across the road from me changes my channel on my television.
You must ask him not to sit next to you.
No. He sits across the road and he changes my channel.
What's in that shape?
And he goes,
Highland Games for you.
how small is this road that you can see each other so easily?
You live in a little model village.
I know. Susan Carman from Toy Town.
Stop turning me telly over, you bastard!
No, you forgot to open the little curtains.
So, it is the Wi-Fi, but it's not the first thing on the list. Its environmental cost is the real thing. It's incredible. So the US Energy Department, they did a study in 2008, and over the whole of the United States, a staggering 6.63 billion kilowatt hours of electricity use. So that is twice as much electricity as Cambodia uses in a year. Just for the Christmas lights.
Very dark there, though, isn't it?
Oh, Cambodia. Well, it's also more than the annual use in lots of countries. Ethiopia, El Salvador, Tanzania...
I don't
Nepal.
like it, really.
Don't like
People
what?
go a bit overboard, don't they?
Oh, when they do the whole house,
The
it
whole
makes me
house.
crazy.
What I don't mind is a moving reindeer.
Yeah.
Never mind that.
So you work on that impression all year,
Yeah.
and then you can bring it out at Christmas.
What's this? Moving reindeer! Reindeer, every year.
Christmas lights are also responsible for a great many injuries. So people...
Tripping up,
Oh, my
burning.
goodness, yeah.
I mean, he's gone the wrong side up a ladder.
Only got himself to blame. This has nothing to do with the light. He's looked at the manual and just got it the wrong way around. This ladder's shit!
I like that ladder impersonation. That could double as a reindeer doing backstroke. That's very good.
I can't wait till next year on BBC Two, Alan Davis's Christmas impersonation.
So lots of people injured putting up Christmas lights. The average victim is a 55-year-old man.
Well...
Is he the one that lives across from Susan?
Where does Santa Claus come from?
From St. Nicholas. St. Nicholas.
Yes, what place?
The Bohemia, Czechoslovakia. No?
Not quite. No.
God.
Any thoughts?
Russia.
No.
He's an Aborigine.
Woking. No.
Lapland.
Bavaria.
Did you say Lapland? Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear, oh.
And I just saw North Pole. on
Yes,
one of
you're not
those
going to say that,
cards.
are
Say that.
you? No.
Syria.
Turkey.
Yes! Quite
Bingo.
right. Turkey, yes. And that was real Santa Claus, St. Nicholas.
Happy Christmas!
Yeah, but he was...
Tzatziki, vijf leaves.
Sinterklaas, as they call him in the Netherlands. Yeah, Sinterklaas is aangekomt, is their little song. I'll give you some points if you can tell me where precisely our modern view, as it is, of Father Christmas comes from.
Does it derive from the Gemütlichkeit culture of that Prince Albert brought to Britain in the 1840s?
Again, you're just chiming with the thought that fills the room, but no.
Yes.
No. It's... No, the Schleswig-Holstein Gemütlichkeit culture is not an issue here. It is a very extraordinary thing. I want to take you to the year 1822.
Oh, when Schubert wrote the Unfinished Symphony.
Something else happened. A poem was written which absolutely gave us, for the first time ever printed or ever recorded, as far as we know, the idea of the white beard, the red coat, the stockings, the chimney, the presents on Christmas Eve, the whole thing. Americans still quote it every Christmas time.
It was the night before
It
Christmas.
was the night
yes.
before Christmas. Clement Clark Moore, who was professor of Hebrew. The poem was called A Visit from St. Nicholas.
Off his face on Laudanum, just sitting there with a big fat man with a beard and a red coat. This is fantastic. He's got a sack full of gripples.
Now, why is Santa off the rich list?
Or Santa. Cutbacks.
That might be
Austerity drive.
Austerity drive.
He works one day a year.
Only works one day a year.
Has he developed
He used to be
confidence?
on the rich list. He used to be on it until 2006. Forbes magazine famously invented virtually the idea of a rich list.
Is there some...
Yes, young Brendan.
Is it because he may not be real?
Have you dreamt of it?
Thank you! Oh, poor Phil.
Phil, that got a klaxon, so that can't be right. Don't worry, back you go. Oh, little soul. Forbes magazine genuinely publishes a fictional rich list. And Santa Claus used to be on it because they reckon he must be infinitely rich because he is able to distribute presents every year to all the children of the world, they said. I don't believe he does. I don't know why they...
Richie Rich?
That's Richie Rich, of course. Scrooge, I guess, on the left. Father Christmas himself and
The late
Santa.
Bernard Manning on the right.
Can you name... I've got the top 5. Name any in the top 5 that you imagine might be on the rich
Real
list.
people or
No,
imaginary
fictional, that's the
ones?
point.
Scrooge McDuck.
No, but number 2 is the enemy of Scrooge McDuck. Good one. Flintheart Glomgold is his name. Flintheart Glomgold. Yeah. And number 1 played Benedict Cumberbatch, the richest fictional creature in the world. Human or they know in the audience? Smaug. Smaug the dragon in The Hobbit. $62 billion worth of gold he sits upon until, of course, he... Well, I'm not going to tell you the ending, because I haven't seen it.
Don't spoil it.
But why is Santa taken off? Because surely he must be really rich to give everyone a present.
It's a very simple reason.
Tax
Forbes,
evasion.
not tax evasion. This is the usual answer. Because it's a fictional
And he's
list,
real.
And Santa is
Santa is real.
Forbes decided that. So there you go. Good result, Santa.
Let me take you back now to your childhood and innocence. You remember all those white Christmases? No?
OK.
No?
I remember one.
Yeah.
1971.
1970, the January was 71.
There you go.
Christmas
Bang.
itself, 1970. Had you said yes, I would buzz you, because you don't remember any, because you're from the southeast. You might remember a few more, because South Shields has had more. We've actually tried to work out how many white Christmases you've had. We think you might have had them when you were 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 9.
Wow.
Which is actually quite a lot.
That is quite a lot.
Because in the whole of the 20th century, if you lived in London or the southeast, there were only 4 white Christmases. I know. It is extraordinary. And they were in 1927, 1938, 1970 and 1981. As we know, in the 21st century, we've had a few. But what's important about this is that in the early part of the 19th century, around about 1812 to 1820, there were 8 in a row.
Oh.
Now, why was that important to our culture?
Is that when the song was written?
No.
No.
A certain child was born in 1812. We were
Jesus.
Norman! You really do need a little bit of a religious education. This was an author, a writer, who created the idea...
Charles Dickens.
Okay, Dickens,
Charles
yeah.
Dickens. For the first 8 years of his life, it always snowed on Christmas Day. And so whenever he mentions Christmas, not just in A Christmas Carol, but in several other novels, it's always snowing. And this helped the myth in British culture of a snowy Christmas. He also lived at a time known as the Little Ice Age. You know this, I'm sure you've seen paintings of fairs on the River Thames.
Yeah.
There were times where the River Thames froze so solidly they would have fairs, not just fairs, they'd have bonfires on the ice.
Those crazy cockneys.
Yes. they could guarantee...
Light a fire up.
Yeah.
It's freezing.
Let's light a fire on the river on the ice. What could possibly go wrong?
But the odd thing is, nothing did go wrong, because it was so thick, the ice. The last Frost Fair, as they were called, was in 1813-14 on the frozen River Thames. Wow. But anyway, this century we've had more White Christmases, as we know, but only 4 in the entire 20th century, and only 2 in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
More in Scotland. I'm really being very metrocentric here, and I apologise for that.
As we're in the Christmas spirit, let's have a little sing-song. What's everybody's favourite bit in that traditional song, the 12 Days of Christmas? Which is your favourite bit?
Lord's Leaping.
For me, it's the gold rings.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. Yeah. 5 gold rings.
How can that be wrong if you're asked what his favourite...
He's leading the witness.
I asked what his... No, I asked what his favourite bit was in the traditional English song, and it's not traditional, it's a recent addition. There's a man called Austin who wrote that arrangement in which it went 5 gold rings, and that bit alone is copyright and belongs to Novello, and you pay for.
All right, so we've just blown the BBC's budget.
The whole BBC. It's a bit like Happy Birthday to You. You can't sing or whatever in films, or at least if you do, you have to pay enormous royalties because the lyrics are still not in public domain.
I was told at school that it was code. It was supposed to be an aide memoire to something. Yeah. I don't know what.
Well, there are these games you can play that are like, in my trunk I'm going to pack, and the first person says a pair of swimming trunks, and the second one has a pair of swimming trunks and a book. So it's that thing, it's a memory thing. There's a version I play called Christopher Biggins Has Up His Bottom Tonight, and you have to remember the person. You go, Christopher Biggins has up his bottom tonight, and you go, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the next person says, Christopher Biggins has up his bottom tonight, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it has to begin with the last letter of Schwarzenegger. And...
Rodney Bewes.
Rodney Bewes, exactly. Christopher Biggins has up his bottom tonight, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Rodney Bewes, and then the next person goes, Christopher Biggins has his bottom tonight.
Steve Davis, the snooker player.
Brilliant! And you go on until you can't remember, and you get a huge
Simon
list.
Sharma.
You usually find that Christopher...
Anthony Andrews.
Christopher is astoundingly accommodating. That's the great thing about the game. And it goes on. It's a fun party game. I can't recommend it.
Is this why he was made King of the Jungle? This particular skill?
Well, the fact is, the song 12 Days of Christmas is a traditional, non-copyright song, with the exception of 5 gold rings, which was added by Frederick Austin and is owned by Novello and Company Limited.